Car order. It's always been car order.
I strongly disagree.
That's the way it is. Rip him out through the window in a nice way.
Just so I can go down and drink a carton while everyone punches on.
Just pisses me to tears. That's the worst thing you can do.
You shut up, you hack. Talking about boat ramps, this is what I wanted to get through from the start. What he said.
Oh, you just been an idiot.
And welcome to the Chumming Up Podcast, the fishing, spearfishing and ocean adventure podcast that isn't Jewish, but we run the banks. I am Squirly, and with me, as always, is LEEWOLD. Mitchell, how you going, big horse?
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good.
We got some barra off the banks today.
Yeah, we did get a couple of barra off the banks. I was wondering where you were going with the Jewish off the banks.
See?
I thought it might be just like we're missing the tip of our penis or something, but no, we are getting a couple of barra off the banks.
Yeah, well, I could do with a couple extra inches still.
Yeah, that'd give you a couple extra inches. No, it was bloody good. But got a couple off land-based. I'm not normally a land-based fisherman, but it's been bloody great, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been good. I fucking was able to catch and release some sooty grunters, so that's always good fun.
Yeah, and you keep telling us you won that species.
Well, I clearly did win that species, so it's...
Yeah, but I mean, like, who cares? It's a couple of sooty grunter while you're barra fishing.
The listeners, big fucking sooty grunter following.
Yeah, yep.
Fucking join the pages. Talking about followings, we're joined by the bloke who took out today on the Barramundi, so like second prize. Your dad, Rob Mitchell. How you going, big horse?
Very good, mate.
Yeah?
Yes, quite good.
Fucking enjoying the trip?
Yeah, it's good to win.
Yeah. Good.
Give us a licking today,
always
too,
good to
didn't
be a winner. Yeah. He's saved it up too. He's just been fucking motoring along, throughout the trip, just doing what he has to, and then today just foot on the accelerator.
Yeah. Plus, I don't want to mention it in front of the kids, but he's also got the biggest barra for the trip as well. Didn't get that today, so it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, mate, do it right.
Fucking oath. Talking about doing it right. So how this trip came together pretty much was I said to LEEWOLD I'd meet him up somewhere, and he said, Kununurra, fucking get that done. So organising all that, and then last minute here, you're making the trip. And you just jump in a car from Victoria and drive to Kununurra in how long?
Yeah, 3 days.
3 days?
3 days, yeah.
Yeah, worth it?
Yeah, definitely worth it now that I've won. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Because this is your first time being here too.
Yeah, it is. It's unreal. It's an unreal spot. It's the first time here, and I'll definitely be back. That's for sure, yeah.
Well, I know you've said a lot when we're out there that the fishing reminds you a lot of the trout fishing back home.
Yeah, because we're lucky enough Lee's learned a few spots up here because he's been here a few times before.
Yeah, that helps.
That's what he does. He goes everywhere.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of freshwater fishing this trip.
Yep.
And the river system's much like the mountains in Omeo in Victoria. So the fish tend to sit in the same place.
Yep.
So on my behalf, I was cheating a bit. So I've done a lot of trout fishing my whole life. So, just basically done trout fishing.
Yeah.
And caught barra.
So
but the barra are a lot bigger.
It's been a bit obvious to me. Like, it's like trout fishing when I was a kid with him up in the high country in Victoria. There's a fair bit of old bull, young bull going on.
Yep.
Like, oh, look at that hole. I'll run up ahead, turn around to see him stop on something that looks pretty average, have a flick. But let's got one out there. Like, dirty dog. He's still schooling me on it. But yeah, like he said, it's when you look back and he's got a 2-pound trout, you're like, When you look back and he's got a bloody 80-centimetre barra, you're like, fuck.
Yeah. Did you find extra enjoyment sort of out of that? Just seeing something and going like, I would have fished that back home, and then fishing it and catching the Barramundi, so the knowledge is kind of transferable between fish?
Yeah, definitely. It sort of really showed me that barra are the same as trout, brown trout, in clear running fresh water. They sit the same. They seem to feed the same.
Yep.
So it made it heaps easier for me. But once I got into the salt, as you're well aware, because you're with me, I caught absolutely stuff all.
That makes all of us.
Are we going to mention that I did all right on the salt, or no?
We're never going to mention that you done all right. Yeah, Squirly, you did do good on the salt.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Good on the salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, cleaned us up on species there one day too. By
Yeah, well,
squirrelies.
it
That's
depends what you
good, I
call
gotta say that.
species. He's calling a catfish a species.
Well, it's a fucking species. What is it? A fucking tomato?
That's like winning.
I thought I was sitting with
a
fishermen here. This guy doesn't believe a fucking catfish is a fish. It's in its name.
Nah, I'm not into it. Catfish. It's like going, oh yeah, I fucking got mail today and it's a fucking bill. It's just not something worth celebrating.
That's all I get. Fucking Bill's no fan mail, I can tell you.
Oh, surely.
So, how's the trip been for you, LEEWOLD? Different time of year than what you've been here before?
It's been different, and in a couple of ways, it's been good. Is that the joint is fishing totally different.
Yep.
And that's basically why I love Barramundi. Same reason I love like marlin and a few other different species that not everyone gets. Why you love them is because of that hardness. You know, I've been here before in Kununurra and we've caught a couple of meteries every day we've been here. And then we haven't caught a metery or seen one this trip. Or
Yep.
we've had days where we didn't catch a barra. And it just makes you hungrier. And I think it's so good because they're still here, but you just can't go out and get them. And that's the coolest bit. Like, I think, it just makes you more questions than answers.
Yep.
That's what I love. I love that side of all fishing, you know, where some fish aren't as cool as others because you can just go and get them. But yeah, Barramundi definitely have that. And you can see why the guys that target them really hard, you know, like we had Kurt McCartney on here a couple of episodes back, and, you know, that guy catches more big ones or as many big ones as anyone in the country. And, you know, you can just see the amount of mental time and work's gone into it to get to that. When then we roll in and we're like, yeah, he just lives in a joint where there's heaps of big ones, we'll do it. And then we're like, holy shit, we can't get a sniff. And he's helping us while we're here. It's like, holy crap. You know, I do love that. And then obviously having my family here is next level, and having you here is good too, Squirly. You know, like, yeah, having you out fish me a couple of times was a new experience for me, but
yeah. Just a cheap shot in there. And then the kids get out there today and Harvey gets one and your missus fishes for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Catches a barra shore base.
Yeah.
And then goes and cooks dinner.
Yeah, goes and cooks a couple of steaks and that on the bank, you know. It's pretty tough, so.
Fucking.
Bitch.
Yeah. I think we heard that straight away. It'll be interesting to look at LEEWOLD's footage if you can hear in the background. Fucking Rob's put in all the effort, set up, and then the Barramundi are throwing themselves out of the water on Nicky's line. And he's like, bitch. In the background.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Actually, like the extended trip on this trip is a bit of that, particularly with the kids and that, you know, they're like, we've fished places, you know, where the kids, and Nicky catches 15 barra for the day, you know, to 80 centimetres. And then you're like, oh yeah, can't wait to get up early in the morning, sun rises, we'll do it again. It's going nuts, you know. And they're like, oh, you know, we don't want to go fishing. Like, holy shit. You know, there's people camping literally next door to us that are begging for that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's so cool, you know. I think as a whole trip, and even this trip since you've been here and the old boy's been here, it's like, I don't think any of us will ever forget it, you know. It's just awesome. Like when you get adventure and new things, you know, like we've had to do new things this trip to try and find fish, and then you go, because some days have been tough, you go looking in areas you wouldn't, or like, you know, we got a lot of help from Kurt and Damo, who we had on the last episode. You know, it just makes you go to different places, and then everything becomes cool in its own right as well.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well said. I mean, even just, I think some of the exploring we've done along the banks and into different tracks and shit like that, it's just wild country, isn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's actually proper wild, a lot of it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's stuff I've never been into before. And what I liked a lot about it is I've got young Harvey, my grandson, tagging along with us, and he's right behind us, and he's chucking lures, and there's crocodiles sliding into the water and stuff. Some of it's pretty dangerous.
Yep.
Especially when you get grandkids with you. But yeah, it's actually real. It sort of, it brings the real person out of you.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
pretty cool.
For sure. I know, like, on the bank tonight as it started to get dark, like, I had my foot on your chair just in case a tiger shark,
Yeah.
a crocodile came up.
In case the Tiger King come out.
Take
Take him.
Yeah, or a big catty. You know, I reckon you'd find out who your mates are pretty quickly.
Right, yeah.
But even I think we fished pretty much every day except for yesterday, where we had the day off. Some people were hungover, not me. But
Not much.
but we're still able to go out, see some pretty wicked waterfalls and get to see El Questro and all that kind of shit. It's just amazing how close everything is.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely coming back here
Yeah,
because it is that easy.
yeah,
Like, it's 50 Ks.
yeah,
Anything that's unbelievable. Like,
Yeah.
it's remote, but it's not that remote.
yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of, it is the jewel in the crown. Like, it's the Kimberley and the Northern Territory. There's no doubt it is super remote. But Kununurra as a one has a lot within 50 or 100 Ks. You got the arguably as good of freshwater fishing, arguably as good as saltwater fishing, waterfalls, a wicked rum distillery, which which is the main thing. But where the rest of it is really remote, but you go there and then it's like, okay, there's this one bit and now you're still 300 Ks away from anything else. Where this is remote right in the middle and hard to get to, but it's just got so much there. And how can you go to somewhere like we fish land-based all day and there's no footprints, let alone people? You know, it's crazy, and it's not tidal, so it's not like, oh yeah, last high tide washed them away. It's like there ain't been anyone here for a while, like car tracks and that have overgrown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's where it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because you do feel like you're one of the first people here to fish, but obviously you're not.
Yeah.
But you feel like you are, so it makes you more excited. So you actually fish better.
Yeah. I find that a big one. Every cast, you're like, I'm seeing something that someone hasn't fished before.
Yep.
So you're watching your lure every cast, and when you nail the cast to the area that you're looking at, it's like a real fucking, this is it.
It's a buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the days, like you'd be 50 casts in, but you still thought, fuck, this one's the one.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think that's where, like, particularly the old boy, where Rob's done really well fishing today. One big thing I noticed was it's not, although you're there somewhere that's not getting fished, it's not the first cast where you roll in, you go, there's one there. You have 3 or 4 casts, chuck your lure around, don't get a bite, and you scratch your head. But where Dad done well today was he'd sit there and have 30 or 40 casts, and on the 35th cast, got one. And it'd be a real nice one. You're like, oh. So it makes you think about how much water, no matter how many casts you have on it, you go, there's not one there. But in your mind, back of your mind, you're going, there's one there.
Yeah.
That's right.
You just didn't need it,
Yeah.
So I think that was really cool too, like it's not just, oh, we got to somewhere that no one goes and you just bit their head off. You're still working for it, and fundamentals. I thought, really cool.
Yeah, I think somewhere like here would improve your fishing fairly quickly. Just because it's right in the good patch where you catch enough fish that you're learning from it. You're not going out there and fucking, is what I'm doing right or wrong? Because fuck, you got to spend 6 months every night before you catch a fish. But it's also not, you can't just rock up and fucking catch.
Yeah,
fish
every day you're not
willy-nilly.
going to get one. Yeah.
And then everything changes so quickly as well. From what I've noticed, like fucking one creek will be a completely different looking creek.
Oh, yeah.
Half
In the
an hour
salt.
later.
I found the salt hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to fishing water you can't even see into.
Yeah.
It's actually mud.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're pulling fish out of it. Like, not little fish, they're pulling big fish out of there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
yeah, that blew my mind because, like, especially lure fishing,
Yeah,
like, how the fuck do they say it?
yeah.
But
But they're there because he's got the live on, of course, on the boat, and we could actually see him.
yeah,
Yeah, they're actually there. Bloody hell.
Yeah, and it's a bit of an old thought too, is like visibility of water that is proper chocolate, like you can't see 2 millimeters into it, is that you can't catch fish on lures out of that. It has to be live bait or whatever, or even dead bait or fillets. But this day and age, people know that you can catch them out of there just as well. You just have to take your own mind away from it and realise that these fish are massive lateral line feeders, the normal thing, like the old school thing was, they can't smell it, where if you had a strip of mullet or whatever, they can smell it and pick it up. It's like, yeah, but threadfin predominantly eat prawns in creeks, and prawns live in the darkest coloured water. That's how they avoid predators, and they've got the whiskers to feel for them in there. Prawns don't have a smell while they're alive. They're not smelling the fillet. So, you got to, a lot of the time your own mind gets in the way of what they are. You're like, oh, no, this is what I am. It's like, but you're not even close to that fish. You're not even close to the animal that it is, and it's the same with massive tides, like some of this Kimberley region has 11-metre tides, and you think, oh, they can't swim against that or this or this or this. They know it's coming in and out every day. They're not swimming against it. They're going, I want to go up the back there with them prawns or whatever it will be. I'll use it as my escalator or whatever. It's we look at it as though it's difficult because you're like, that's crazy. That's hard to drive the boat against. But they don't see it like that. That's not how they've evolved to be. That is why they're there. That's their bread and butter,
Yeah. Well, I think the first place you took us straight off me getting off the plane was to Ivanhoe's Crossing, and you're watching the little barrows just going up the crossing.
Yeah.
Like, what's it, a couple foot?
Yeah, it'd be 2 or 3 foot.
Yeah, flowing against it, and you're watching them, these... Oh.
Yeah, like a salmon.
Yeah, I mean, that, like, it's all one thing to see it on a video or whatever, but just to watch it...
Yeah, it was unreal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, when a fish can swim against water that's literally falling straight down and they can make ground go up it, it is a wild thing to watch, isn't it? Like, you're like, waterfalls are, I don't know what the maximum velocity of water is, but fish can go quicker than that, obviously.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're doing.
Yeah, amazing. It was just, once they got that momentum, they were gone, weren't they? They were up with us. And
Yeah,
gone.
fuck yeah. I mean, to be honest, it was just as funny when they couldn't. Like, want to get halfway up and go ass up the other way. I'm like, yeah, you're fucking useless. You idiots.
Call yourself a fish.
Yeah, you nothing, Barramundi.
Yeah. Yeah, while I do a bloody 10 fucking degree inclination walk and I'm fucked.
Yeah. Well, me and you went a little bit bushwalking on one of our expeditions. It wasn't fruitful in any sort of way.
Nah, but it might have been. Yeah, we went for a big walk, and the mud got thick because we went out on an old salt pan, and it was still wet from the end of wet season, and fucking hell, my legs were burning by the end of that.
there was talk about if LEEWOLD, can't make it back, just I'll tell your family that you wanted to get buried in the mud because I'm not towing you back, mate. This is as far as it goes.
Yeah,
But,
like you needed to sell it to them. Get back to the missus and kids. Yeah, he died out there. Yeah, we'll just leave it.
well, Rob was still casting back at the boat. So.
Yeah. And had a croc just popping its head up every 10 seconds to iron him out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one of the other, little cool, not fishing things, but just driving from fishing today and you're seeing all the frogs and that on the road and showing the kids. Like, even that's fucking an awesome thing. Like, obviously, Harvey and Charlie just go nuts on getting to pull over and look at the frogs. accidentally running over cane toads. Accidentally.
Yeah, and then accidentally reverse over them.
Yeah. Yelling, fuck you, cane toads. But that's got to be cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I think we talked about it this Harvey, you know, between the three of us on now, we got over 60 or 70 years of experience in Exmouth, you know, combined. And it's a bit of a eureka moment for us being up here, as in it's like, wow, we've experienced exactly the same thing, but, you know, as population comes through, it changes. But this is like stepping back to what we're used to 20 years ago in Exmouth. You know, it's crazy, you know. Bloody green tree frogs everywhere, you know, lizards everywhere, super friendly people, a fishery that you can fish off the bank and catch multiple large barramundi every day or in a day. And, you know, you could definitely take this place for granted. It is, anyone that comes here, it's as good as what you hear, you know, like, it's just so good. You go away, like all of us are going to go away from the joint after the holiday with a sense of euphoria because it's so good.
Yeah, and we've ran out of piss, so it won't be a hangover.
We got a little bit of Ord River rum and we're onto the Hoochery gin, so
yeah.
Could be a bit of a punch up at the end of the night.
Yeah, that did go all right.
Yeah.
The gin.
Yeah. Punch up will just be Nikki telling me that I didn't do my washing or something.
Yeah. Van life.
Yeah.
So we got Harvey here. What is, so we'll just give you the microphone because otherwise you can't talk without it. What's your highlights from being here, so far?
I think I really liked the bank fishing, really.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked walking along the bank like the trout fishing up at Omeo.
Yep.
It's really cool casting and that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you didn't get one today. Did you get one the other day or?
Yeah, I got one the other day.
The other day. Yeah.
Got one when we went live bait fishing this Harvey.
Yep.
But not on the lure.
Yeah.
So you still got one today off the bank, but...
Yeah. And you having a go at me because I didn't get one today? Is that what you're trying to push?
Oh, mate.
Get out of my face,
If it eats you
buddy.
up at night, don't need to tell me.
Yeah. So, just the casting and everything else like that onto it. You've been doing everyone's leaders.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
Well, I'm not liking it, but I'm doing it.
Have you had any pull yet?
Any of your leaders
pull out?
No.
Nah. Well, then.
Has your dad since Squirly's been here?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No, wait, that wasn't what I was getting at. No, yeah, we did have one, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a quick one before he realised that it was his own leader knot. He was like, the leader knot's come undone. You've cost me a lure.
Yeah.
And he was like, hang on, I tied that one.
Yeah, I'm like, what rod is that? Oh, shit, that was me.
Yeah. So since then, Harvey's been on the job, and you've messed up because none of them have come off. So now it's your job for life.
Yeah, that's right. But we've got to go through the little systems where my ones are the ones that don't pull, and when you time for Squirly and Par, then they just have to slip every now and then.
Yeah. So this time, Harvey, you haven't got any meteries or mate trays or meteorites. What do you call a meter barra? Metery? Simple. Like Mate Joe Black. Do you like all the different names for meter barra? Or do you like to just keep it simple?
I just like to keep it simple.
Yeah. What about you, LEEWOLD?
I love the names. It's just one of the things I love. I love meat tray. Meat tray's probably right.
Meat tray's good.
Meat tray's good. And I really want to get a meat and two veg, which I think is a meat of 20.
Meter 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
See, I like the extra stuff you can do with them. You know, like say if you catch multiple meat trays, just being up to go, you know, oh, mate, we were out there. We were catching more meat trays than the raffles at the RSL.
Yeah.
You know, like all the build-up, the meteorites.
Yeah.
Mine
You
and...
could call a spot the RSL.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I got this secret spot. I call it the RSL. Because all I get is meat trays. Yeah. All I get is meat trays. Yeah.
And the only people you see there are creepy old men sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like they're giving the piss away because I just keep drinking it. How good is an RSL? Buddy, so going on that halves, I'll even ask you a couple. So you've caught a couple of meteries or meat trays of meteorites or fucking big horses here in Kununurra before. So you want to tell us a story about your first metery or one that's special to you or anything?
The one I want to talk about is that 101 I got. And so we're fishing at this spot, and
Where is the spot exactly?
Don't tell him anything. The RSL. We're fishing at the RSL.
I want GPS locations. No, go ahead.
we were fishing there. We're fishing hollow bellies. Then Dad wanted us to swap over the vibes. Swapped over to vibes, but I didn't really like the vibes, so I swapped back. And then I'm like, on the sounder, I'm like, there's a big one over there. I'll cast over there. Dad's like, you didn't cast far enough. I'm like, I'm on. I got a 101 on the hollow belly.
Cast and retrieve.
Yeah.
Yeah, righto. How old were you then?
So that was 3 years ago, I think. So I would have been 7.
I think you're 8.
Yeah,
It was
8.
3 years ago because you're just about to turn 11.
Oh, yeah, it was in
but-
September.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was like, holy crap, when he caught it. It's like, Jesus Christ, because I did. I'm like, no, you didn't cast far enough, mate. You got to chuck it out a bit further.
Doesn't sound
And
like him.
And I'm like, mate, you just have to understand, the further away you can get it from the boat, the better you... He goes, I'm on. I'm like, oh, this thing just comes out of the water. Yeah, that was a cool fish, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucky I've got a bigger one than you now, though, eh?
No, you don't.
What do you mean?
Well, the biggest one in the family is mine.
Not the 101.
Nah. Another time we're trawling at the same spot, and on this lure.
Where is that spot, by the way?
We're gonna have to chuck him in with the saltwater crocs.
Go ahead.
Trawling there, hooked on, and I caught a 113. Dad had been catching
113.
lots of 112s before that, so it just felt good to just be like 1 centimetre bigger than you.
Yeah. I get that at the urinal all the time.
By centimetre, you mean inch.
Nah, I've caught 6 112s and Halves got a 113 that time. It was bloody good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's bloody ripper fish. And all by yourself too. You bloody good fisherman, Halves. Proud of you.
Yeah. I think today, actually, Nikki caught hers casting closer than what you wanted her to cast as well, didn't she?
Well, yeah, I don't know about casting. I think more like snagged on a stick and then tried to kill the bait. And then, yeah, there was a few fuck-ups.
Are they fuck-ups if they work?
Yeah, well, I suppose, yeah, you know.
Fucking, because there were a lot of people not doing what she was doing, and it wasn't as effective as just 5 minutes of cast, get it caught on the snag, have a barra chase it, pull it away from him, chuck it back on the rock, bang, barra.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, well, it's surprising he doesn't catch like more 120s or 130s, you know, if you're going to have him in the trees or fucking in a snag. But yeah, buddy, it was a nice fish though, and cool. Like when, like, you know, we're taking the piss. So what happened was she had her live bait out, and she's like, I'm going to check on it. Pulled it in, got caught on a little stick right near her, so it's not a big deal. Trying to pull it out, and this barra boofs it on the bank. The barra literally like climbs onto the sandbar.
Yeah. Scares the shit out of Nikki.
Yeah, and the rest of us like, what's happened? Like, we all know, because it's like, poof. And then she's like, there's a barra right there, right there. And she's like holding her rod in the air, and this like live bait's like, I'm suffocating to death. And I'm like, what are you saying? She's like, there's a barra right there. I'm like, yes, get the live bait back on the barra.
Yep.
Yeah, and because I was real calm like that too.
Yeah, that's how you are.
Yeah, like that's how relationships go. And then she's like, oh, it's right there. Then it's like, oh, chuck it back out. Chucks it out. And then like, oh, it's not far enough. Blah, 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 blah. 2 seconds later, I'm on. And yeah, she got the biggest one for the arvo. It's a nice fish too.
Yeah, was.
Yeah.
Good fish. Like, especially me, I still haven't seen a meter barra. Yeah, I think the biggest ones I've seen have been in the 80s. I might have seen a 90. I can't quite remember. But yeah, the fish here mostly just really big, fat fish.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, I think one of the ones today was probably the skinniest one, I think, talking to Rob, that we've seen on the trip, but it's probably just, average barra everywhere else that I've seen. So, I mean,
Totally. It's a lot like marlin fishing, where, like, particularly like your bigger marlin, your big blue marlin, your big black marlin, where people catch it and they haven't done a lot of it before, and they go away thinking, I just got a fucking grander.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's a great 250 pounder. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, that was a real nice fish. Like it was a cracker, 250 pound. And they're like, what are you talking about? That is no way an animal grows 4 times bigger than that. And it's like, yeah. And they're like, what does that look like? It's like, why do you think we're fucking out here?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and barra is very much that. Like you can say to people, meatery, and people can throw the word around. If your heart is not in your throat when you watch someone hooked up with a meatery, let alone be that person, you're kidding yourself. And it is just amazing. Like it's just, you see it come out and you think, I've got a meter 80.
Yeah.
And then when you land it, you're like, oh my God, I've got a metery.
Yeah,
I've got a meter too. Where,
Yeah.
and you catch 80s and you're like, oh my God, I might have one. And you're like, if you're saying if you in your mind, you're thinking I might, it ain't, because a meter long fish looks 10 times bigger than it should. It's just awesome. They're just huge, like all the American guys out there and that bass fishermen, what they think about what you guys are doing and what they do, and it is as cool. You can throw glide baits at them, you can throw surfs, you can do everything, but they're just way bigger and pull like fuck. It's like, boom. Why wouldn't you, like, who wouldn't love it?
Yeah. Well, they're like, even their look, they're dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They are the iconic Australian fish. Like the cane toad, but a fish version.
Yeah, and native.
And doing a good fucking job too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't catch Squirly at night licking Barramundi.
I do, just after I finish licking the cane toads. After I lick the cane toads, all I'm doing is licking random shit. Trying to make it home.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything more to add?
Nah, I think that was really good.
Where's the next place on the trip?
Not too sure yet.
Dunno.
Nah. Maybe Cape Leveque. Not too sure, I think. Yeah, just bloody, yeah.
Yep.
Just pretty good position to be in, really.
Yeah, not a bad spot.
Yeah.
I'm heading home tomorrow and then taking off to Sydney. So hopefully I'll get a little bit of time in Sydney. I'm there for work, but hopefully a bit of time off to get some fishing there, maybe. Yeah, and then...
Yeah, you're going to love that. It's like, no doubt you'll ring me. Yeah, I just did 10 days in Sydney, land-based, fucking 8 hours a day, saw a brim.
Fuck, I'll take that. Nah, I don't know. I'll see how I go. If someone's in Sydney and wants to take me fishing, then fucking I'll take them up on that. But like I said, I don't know how many days off I'll have to do it. I'm probably going to be a little bit busy.
But see, I know you're wrapping it up, but that is super cool too. You go out with a Sydney guy, knows their shit, go out, 2 or 3 nights, big nights, working hard, chucking vibes in deep gutters and end up with like an 8-kilo chew or something. This guy's doing crazy stuff in Sydney.
Yeah.
Yellowtail Kings off the rocks.
Yeah, some of it's like, it's an underrated place for what you see caught out of there.
Yeah.
Like, fucking not too bad. So
No, really cool.
yeah. So we'll see how we fucking go.
Yeah.
You got anything to add, Harvey?
Nah.
No. You enjoyed being on the potty?
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Well, cheers for chumming up. Cheers, everyone, for being on, and thanks for having me up here.
Cheers, Ross.
Get ya.
Oh my god, what the fuck is happening right now? Dolphin in killer whale's mouth? Holy shit. Oh, this is the best day of my life, God. What?
I like going down the pond chasing bluegills and kamikazes.